Veronica, do you have any concern? Okay, so Veronica, let me unmute you.
Okay, thank you
Okay,
so much. I
welcome.
have a question. I don't know, I
Okay,
already have R installed in my system. I don't know if I still need to do this.
that's fine. Wait, when did you last install it?
That was early part of the year. So I don't know.
Yes, so I think currently we are running on version 4 going. What version is yours?
So I should still install this, or I should.
So if it's not really current, then you can uninstall so that you just quickly install it. The nice thing about R is it just takes very few minutes to download. Doesn't take a lot of time.
Okay, so the first thing I have to uninstall what I have.
Yes. Then you
Okay,
can quickly download a new one and install.
okay.
Uh, Hello, Ben.
Yes.
So, Ben, we have participants who have joined us from the breakout room, and we're already streaming live on YouTube. So, I'm going to start the recording now, and
That's
then you go ahead with the installation, please.
okay. So thank you very much. This is a quick section that we are having just to install R. So I will just take you through briefly to install R to your PC to be used in the subsequent sections. This is not a detailed introduction to R section, it's just to install that. So if you're wondering why the name R, it was from the developers, Rox and Robert. You can read about them from New Zealand. That's why they come with the name, and we are still using them. And we have a whole community now, so I'll quickly share my screen.
Usu. Okay, Victor, please. I have this
So
R installed in my phone, and
let me see.
I'm attending a program there.
Okay. So the nice thing is you just come to your browser and do R downloads, or
Hello, Ben. Ben, sorry, I had to mute all participants, and sorry that it affected you. So, please unmute. Hello, Ben. Please, you are muted.
okay, thank you. Yes, so I was saying that R is free. So you just come to your browser, then you search R download, depending on what you are using. But for you not to go to too many sites, just search RStudio download. Then you have the first link, which I've shared with you. You can just follow the first link. Then you click on it. And it's not really a file that's big because most of the packages you download to your PC, that's why to increase the size. We just click on this link. Mine should open now. So if you're not able to follow the link I shared, you can just open your browser, then you do the same. Then you have this website. Now, what's the nice thing about R? So there's difference between R and RStudio. R is the base software that we use to do the coding, but RStudio is a secondary software that enhances your ability to work with ease. So it's indirectly when we are going to use RStudio that we'll be using R. So what is the reason? It means that first we have to install the R itself. So if you come to this website, make sure first you download R itself and install before you come to download RStudio and install. Because if you are using RStudio or if you install RStudio indirectly, it requires the R base to function. So I'll click on R itself, download and install R. Then it will take me to another website. So ideally, if you just search out download, you come to the Crown website. Then here you can see that if you are for Linux, you follow, Mac, you follow, Windows, you follow. So you click on R, download R for Windows. I'm using Windows, so I'll follow R for Windows. Then you come here. So for the base, so install R for the first time. Always just use this. Then you continue to install R for the first time. And sometimes some packages that you use, it requires you to come and install the R tools. So I'm sure, depending on the facilitator, if it requires that, they will ask you to come and install or R tools download, then you come and add it. Because some functions or some packages in the R could not work unless you have the R tools, which is the platform that they use to build the R packages. Some of the terms you understand when we move. So I'll install for the first time. Then you can download. So those that already have R or RStudio on your PC, you could see that the current version is 4.4.1. So if you already have it, you installed it last 6 months ago, how much you see that you are using like 2 point something, 3 point something. And some packages will even require you to use the current version. That's why day in, day out, you can uninstall, then you install. So it means that it's just 82 megabytes. Then you can just install. Quickly, it will take like 1 minute to do that. That's the nice thing about R, it's not large. So the software is a bit heavy and it is somehow slow to that. I think it's your network. But R itself is not really that big. It's just 82 megabytes MB. So you should be able to download within 1 minute or 2 minutes. So if you're having that slow, check your network. Yes, Andrew. Let me search Andrew. So what we are doing now is R itself. Before we go back to install the RStudio. Yes, Andrew.
Sorry, Ben. Someone is saying that it's 262 MB. Do you think the person is in the wrong place?
That's RStudio. Have you started RStudio itself? So if I come back, right? We have two softwares here. This is R itself. Make sure you download and install R before you come to the RStudio. So the RStudio is a bit larger. Here is 264 or 62 point something. So it means that the person has started downloading the RStudio. So you are supposed to download the two softwares, the R itself and the RStudio. So first download and install the R and also RStudio. Yes, Andrews, you can go ahead.
Please, which one do you install first? Is it the RStudios or the R?
The R itself.
Before
so install
the
the R.
RStudios.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. That's to make things easier for you. If someone install RStudio first before you come and install the R, when you open it, then it will allow you to go and pick the R that you have on your PC.
Yep.
Or someone can even have different versions of the R base itself. Yeah, you can be able to switch in the RStudio. So to be on the safer side, then download R itself, install, then come to the RStudio, download and install. This one is a bit bigger. As someone said, to around 260 something megabytes. Then you see, as soon as I click on it, this one, it will take me to start downloading. Then you can download to your anywhere you want to, then you can save it. So for the RStudio, as soon as you click on it, it will start downloading. It will ask you to start downloading. Yeah, someone is saying if you install RStudio, it's fine. It's fine. So just continue, come back and install the RSF. Just that don't launch it, so that to make things easy, install the tool before you go and launch the RStudio. So the RStudio automatically pick the base out that you have on your PC. So if you install RStudio first, don't delete it, don't do anything to it. Come back, come and download the RBase, then install. After that, we will just launch it so that we make sure we all have a working interface. This is to prevent delays in the dark session that we are going to use the R with the facilitator for the meta-analysis. So tomorrow too, you are going to install another software. The next day, you'll be installing another software. We will be doing it once a day. So if you've been able to download and install, put one in the chat. Let's see those that have been able to. Okay, one person, one. Okay, yes, that is good. Yeah, at least, yes, good. Yes, thank you. Yes, good. Okay, yes, that's good. That's so most of us has been able to do that. Or otherwise, if you come to so because I already have it, that's why I've not really installed. But as soon as you have them, so let's say you'll be able to download them, like you could see that R4.4. So you just click on it, then it will what? Ask you to run. So if this is the software you downloaded, like I have previous version 4.3.2, then I have another version 4.4.0. So I just click on this, then it will launch the installation prompt, like how we used to install softwares. Then you can proceed to install. The same thing, this is the RStudio that I have. So if you've downloaded it, then it will, when you launch, it's like as I have. So here I'm going to cancel. I don't want to install again. So when you are done, when you are done, make sure everything is at default. You don't have to, don't customize, accept default. Don't customize anything. So accept default and proceed. Someone is saying, is it only on laptop? Yes, preferably PC, a computer. You can run it on your phone. So if you are not with your computer, anytime you get close to your computer, you can use the same process. Then you stop. Can you share the link for it? Yes, you can just go to your browser, search RStudio download. Then you follow the first link. Don't customize anything, just accept default, then proceed. So when you are done, sometimes they will create the shortcuts. So you could see that on my PC, I have RSF and RStudio. But if you don't see the shortcuts, we can always follow the way that we used to create shortcuts. Come to your start menu, then search the software that you did. So let's say RStudio. So we see that I have RStudio, right click on it. This is how we create shortcut for every software that you install, and it doesn't create shortcut on it. So I'll right click on it. Because some people will finish installing, they say they can't find what it is to install. My PC is service. No. All right, click on it. Think my PC is service. No. Let me see. So let me use this approach. So you right click on it, then you open file location. When you go to the file location, so for the so let me use this approach to just show you. So when you search it on your start menu, then you right click, you open file location. Then you can come to file location and come and right click on it again. Depending on the version of your Windows. If you are using Windows 11 coming, you will see the create shortcut unless you go to show more options. But if you are using previous Windows, you see just create shortcut there. So you go to more options, then you can see create shortcut. When you click on it, it's going to ask you, so create shortcut. It's going to ask you whether you want to paste it on the desktop because already there's a file here. Then you said yes, then it will be pasted on your desktop for you. Then you are done. Then you have both softwares on your PC. Then you can always come and launch it. So when you launch RSbase, sorry, this is how it came. And yours too has to come like that. So just leave it because we are not going to use R itself. Then next one is you can also come and launch the RStudio. Then we are done for what we are supposed to do. You need to install both R and RStudio. Yes, we need to install both R and RStudio. So most of it, because RBase itself is like those that work in Python and the rest, it's very complex to work here. So the RStudio is the secondary user interface that provides us to work easily. So when you open the RStudio, this is what comes. I've been working on different files. So you have an empty. So those that are done, you can trying to. Yes, you have something like this. Everything is empty. So if you open it for the first time, you see anything now. Okay, you see anything. Everything will be empty. So if you have this interface, then you are good to go now. So if you open it for first time, you have only 3 things or interfaces. But you can use this voice here. You just click on this icon. Then it will bring the console down for you to see the source script or the script window. So you don't have to be scared of any interface. You'll be taken through. So during that session, that's what we are going to use. Now you could see that. So the reason why we have to install both software is that this is RStudio. It provides a user-friendly interface for us to work. And indirectly, we have what? The R-based system. So I have R4.4.0. So you could see that, yes. Although we are going to work in RStudio, indirectly, we are working with R itself. How many has gotten here? Put 1 in the chat. That's great. Yes, that's great. So I think most of us are on point. Those that still have some challenges, I think we will, yes, we will send some instructions on the page. I'll respond to any question you post on the WhatsApp. Am I to link the base with the student? No, that's why I said install the R itself. Then you come and install the RStudio. Or even if you install RStudio first, don't launch it. Continue and install the R. Then after that, you come and launch the RStudio. So if you are launching the RStudio, it will ask you to accept the default R base that you have on your PC. Then you proceed and you have it automatically integrated. So as you launch the RStudio, the R base will be integrated in the RStudio. You don't have to link anything. Okay, some people too are now also installed. So I'm sure you'll be able to, yes, do them later. Yes, 14, I think we should be on point now.
Yeah, fantastic. So Ben, they've been able to install both R and RStudio.
It should be.
Okay.
I'll stop showing my screen.
We have like 3 more minutes for you, so maybe you can check the chat box if you have any question that you can quickly address in 3 minutes before we take a 5 minutes break and come back for the next session.
That's great. That's great. So if you still have any challenges, I will just check. So it has been quick and it's really nice that both are able to follow.
Okay, Ben, I think it's also useful that you will let them know that the R installation is for tomorrow's session and not for the next session. So those that are unable to succeed, they still have time to try again after today's session.
That's great, yes. So we are going to use the R tomorrow. So those that said they are not close to your PC. So if you want to practice during that section, it means that when you go close to your PC today, make sure you install it so that you can follow from tomorrow's sessions.
Yes, and also we will be able to share the recordings of today's session to you, so you can go through this recording and try the R installation again if you're unable to get it.
Okay.
So Ben, there's a question in the chat box. I don't know if you can just check it.
Yes, so if you fail to link it, yes, you should be able to do that. Just close it, close the RStudio and relaunch it. So I'm sure I'll be attending. So those that have special issues, I'll be attending to it on the page, or just send me. Yes, on the page is fine. Then I'll check it out for you. Yeah, your console has some text. Yes, it's fine. It will be cleared. Mostly those are telling you the version of the R base we are using and all those things. So it will always come with some text. So don't have to worry about that. Mostly if you are working with it, you can just use Control-L to clear it. You'll be taught most of the scripts, so you don't have to worry anything that's wrong. Okay, those asking for the link for the R and RStudio, just open any browser, search RStudio download, and follow the link, or let me still to put it in the chat. Or if not, you can just search, open your Chrome, anything, then RStudio download. Is this free or will it expire? No, it will not expire. So that's the nice thing about R. R is really available to everyone. That's why it's important to know R if you want to become a data scientist. Or compared to other software that has a subscription base, R is really available for everyone. I'm using Mac and it's taking too long to download. I think please check your network, because this ones, the sizes are not that big. It's just what The maximum is 264, 260 something for the RStudio. Okay, so when you search R, so the opposite website, if you go there, you will see R itself, then RStudio download. Then you can download each of them. If not, if you just search R download, it will only take you to the Chrome website, then you download only R. Then you come and search RStudio download. Then you can also download that one too.
Hello, everybody. So we'll take like 5 minutes break. Then we start the next session in the next 5 minutes. That would be 1:30 p.m. GMT. Oh, sorry, that would be yes, that'll be 1:25 p.m. GMT. So we'll first take the pre-session survey from 1:25, and then the session proper would start 1:30 p.m. GMT. So you're free to go for a break, just briefly, like 5 minutes. And then once you come back, you take the survey, and then the session starts by 1:30. Thank you. So Ben, well, if you think that you can still take more questions in the next 5 minutes, that's okay, that's fine.
Okay. Yes. What happened after installing R? I can only see R on my desktop. Yes. So Doris, that's what I said, that sometimes RStudio does not create the shortcut straight after installation. So go to your start menu, search RStudio, right click on it, then you go to the file location. You right click also there, then you create the shortcut, which will be pasted on your desktop for you. This is applicable to other software that you install that they doesn't create the shortcut directly. Yeah, crash reports is done for almost every software, like even Microsoft. They always want to see some reports from their client in order to improve the software. So it's not something that I don't really know whether it will not invade your privacy. Yes, Juliet, yes. The text we are seeing in your RStudio just give you information of the R version that you have, or it has been integrated in the RStudio. So it's just giving you some gist about the software you're going to use. So you don't have to worry. You can skip that one. Oh, so what's the difference between this version and the R 4.1? Yes, so the 4.1.0 is an older version. So the current one we've just installed online is 4.4.0.1, right? So it means that someone was asking whether there's crash report. So when the developers see those crash or anything, then they do the modification, add features, then they release a new software. I saw it, an upgraded version. So if you're using the 4.1.0, it means that there are some changes they've done to the current one that is not in the previous one. As I said, a lot of packages, you'll be able to do a lot of functions, but in a situation whereby the changes they do is related to a particular package, it means you can't use your 4.1.0. That's why it's always recommended to get the current version, but in all, you'll be able to use it for anything. Yeah, so if you have a question on WhatsApp, I will check it out later on. So let's finish the section. And I have to also remind you that the software we just installed will be used tomorrow, not today. So you have the luxury of time to install it to tomorrow. So after you've both installed, then you can now launch only the RStudio. Don't launch the R base itself. Just launch RStudio, accept default. Yeah, 4.3.2 is okay. It's okay. Whatever version you have is okay. You don't have to be worried about it. You'll be able to do. But as I said, if the packages we are using requires it means you have to upgrade. So we don't know package, but that's why it's recommended to get a better version. Okay, until we can start the pre-survey.
All right, thank you, Ben. I'm sharing the link shortly. Hello, everybody. Session 3 starting soon. So I've shared the pre-session survey on the chat box. Please let me know if you encounter any challenge. Yeah, sorry, there was a pre-session survey for session 2, but unfortunately realized that not many people were able to get it. So we will share instead a post-session survey after this session for the free session. So we apologize for not sharing the pre-survey for session 2. Thank you. Yes, please, there have been attendance that has been shared. So in the course of the next lecture, my colleagues will be sharing the attendance again. Thank you. Okay, so please, for those who are not in the WhatsApp group, If you don't mind, you could reach out to Ben, but we believe that if you are registered for the workshop, you should have received a link to the WhatsApp group. So yes, you can still reach out to Ben, and Ben can confirm your details and add you to the group. Thank you. Ben, is that okay? Would you want to share your contact, or would you want them to write to our email?
It depends. So any of them is fine.
Sorry, just share our email. You write.
Yes. So just send a text to the email. You confirm your details, then you'll be added to the email.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks for the observation about number of published systematic reviews. So we are going
Yes.
to sort that out right about now.
But you can use the other option and type 0. I was able to correct that in the first preview, but if you don't see 0 as option, there's other, then just type 0 there. We will check that one out. Okay, so let me just correct that. Going to do that. Someone saying there's no, let me check. We can just modify the aspect. But are you checking that?
Yeah, Ben, I've taken care of that. Thank you very much. Somebody's asking what is going on. We are transitioning into the next session. And while we're transitioning, we're just filling the pre-survey for that session. The session topic is displayed on the screen, and the facilitator will be joining us shortly.
So in the course of this session too, I always send the attendance. But if you've already filled the attendance, you don't have to fill again. Already we have over 300 people that have filled today's attendance. So if you filled today's attendance already, you don't have to fill attendance link again. You have to fill attendance for each day in any of the sessions, whether you join session 1, 2, as soon as you fill it, then you don't have to fill it again. And also, I have to further remind you that for today and tomorrow, the workshop is 100% online. But on Wednesday and Thursday, that's why we'll be transitioning to hybrid, that is online and offline. So we apologize for anyone that did not really check the information and was at the venue today.
Hi, Ben. Thanks very much for the fantastic moderation, and thank you for taking us through the HAR installation. So we'll be handing over to Nafisa now to usher in our next facilitator, our last facilitator for today. Nafisa, are you on call?
Yes, a sec. I put my headset, sorry.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Please, for the attendance link, we'll share the attendance link. Thank you. And please remember that you have to fill it only once for a day. Yes, please, the pre-session surveys are for every session. Thank you. And we also have post-session surveys for every session. So we'll share the post-session surveys at the end of this last session. Thank you. Yeah, sorry about that. But it's really, really important for us to gauge the impact and yes, the impact of our webinar, know where we can improve and what we can do to make subsequent webinars and workshops better. And it's important that we judge these assessments per session. So that's why you have to fill the surveys for each of the session. So we're sorry about that.
Thank you, Fortin, for giving me the opportunity. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third session for today. In today's session, our guest or our facilitator will be Dr. Sunil Shrestha, and he's from Nepal. Allow me just to share my screen to give a few introduction about him. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Sunil, he's currently working as a research scientist and senior clinical pharmacist and head of the Department of Research and Academics in Kathmandu Cancer Center. I hope I pronounced it well, Dr. Sunil.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Tatai. In Nepal, he's also pursuing his PhD. He's almost obtaining soon at the School of Pharmacy, Monash University. Currently, he has submitted his PhD thesis, and he's also a registered pharmacist and clinical researcher from Nepal. He has a most valuable experience working as a clinical pharmacist and research associate at leading oncology hospital in Nepal. During his tenure, Sunil played a pivotal role in establishing a regional pharmaceutical, or let's say pharmacovigilance center and drug information center. Welcome, and we are really delighted to have you in the stage. And hopefully we will gain a lot of benefit from you. And I will also assure you guys, you can ask questions to get more benefit from him. This session will be a very interactive session, and we will share one of the tools, which we will share a pool, warm-up questions. We will share it in the chat. Please put your eye on in the chat, and then we will try to give you and guide you. So thank you. The stage is yours, Dr. Sunil.
Thank you, Nafisa, for the wonderful introduction. So can I share my screen?
Yes, sure.
Is it visible? Can you see my screen?
Yes, it is visible. Go ahead.
Okay. Now is it okay? Can I see? Can you see
You stop sharing. Can you
okay.
share? Yeah, it was good.
Now is it okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I'll be discussing the importance of choosing the right evidence synthesis methodology in healthcare research. Currently, I'm working as a research scientist and senior clinical pharmacist in one of the emerging cancer hospital in Nepal. So, before I go into the evidence synthesis, I want to start with some quiz. So, Nafisa, can you share the poll?
Yes, I'm sharing the link in the chat. Could you please log into the link and type this passcode?
So, here's the question. What is the evidence synthesis? Option 1 is the cooking technique. Option B is the research method. And option C is the type of exercise. So you have 30 seconds. You can share your answer in the Menti, so we can see the poll at last.
We have only one response. People start responding in the chat. Could you please just use the link? We would like you to learn more tools, which are interactive tools. Just please, I will share it again. Go to housekeeping.com and paste this passcode, and then you can, if it's possible, do not answer in the chat, please.
So once again, I'm repeating the question: what is the evidence synthesis? A cooking technique, a research method, and it is one of the type of the exercise. I'm seeing the interesting answer in the chat box, but please give your answer in the menti.com, which is shared by Nafisa.
May I share the result, please?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, sure.
You can stop sharing.
Yeah. So what is the result? Okay, most of the people said research method. Yeah, answer is right. The final answer is the research method, but some people are saying a type of exercise. No, it's definitely not a type of exercise, but it is a research method. So the right answer is the what is the evidence synthesis? It is the, so can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay. So the right answer is the research method. So in today's presentation, we'll cover the following topic, like introduction to the evidence synthesis. So here we'll try to understand what evidence synthesis is and its role in the healthcare research. Then we are going to discuss why selecting the appropriate method is crucial for reliable and relevant results. Then I'll give a brief overview of the various methods that are used in the evidence synthesis. After that, I will also try to demonstrate I'll try to compare different methods to help you to determine the best approach for the specific research question. So let's start with the introduction to the evidence synthesis. Evidence synthesis involves combining results from multiple studies to derive conclusion. This process is essential in healthcare research as it helps to summarize and integrate findings, supporting informed decision-making and the policy formulation. So it is a research method Like I already asked in the poll, so evidence synthesis is a research method. It is a methodological approach in a research which aims to gather and integrate all the relevant information available in the specific research question. This process is essential in healthcare research as it helps in summarizing and integrating findings, supporting informed decision making, and the policy formulation. Evidence synthesis can be useful to identify gaps in the knowledge. It is also useful to establish an evidence base for the best practice guidance, or it is helpful to inform the policymaker and practitioner to create a policy, clinical guideline, or for the practical application. So there are many types of output that we can generate from the use of evidence synthesis. The first one is the policy brief. This is a concise summary of the evidence which will inform the policy to make a recommendation. Another one is the systematic review, which I'm going to discuss briefly in my upcoming slide. And another type of output that evidence synthesis can generate is the clinical practice guideline and so on. So the main key point from the evidence synthesis is the comprehensive analysis. Once we do evidence synthesis, we generate lots of information through an systematic approach approach. Imagine, so I will start with an example. Imagine if we want to know if a new cancer drug, which is recently endorsed in the market, either it is effective or not. Instead of looking at just one study, we combine results from the multiple studies. This gives us a more reliable and comprehensive understanding of the effectiveness of that drug. So another one key points that we can generate from the evidence synthesis is the practical application. Like I've already told that it has a real world application. Like we can use this evidence synthesis for the policy making and the clinical guideline. Like for an example, if the policy maker want to create a health guideline, they use an evidence synthesis to create a new guideline. Another point is the structured methodology. In evidence synthesis, it is the process that is transparent, replicable, and unbiased. For an example, when researchers conduct a systematic review, they have to follow a strict protocol. Suppose you are in the hospital, you are working as a nurse, you are working as a pharmacist, you have to follow some protocol in that hospital. Suppose if you are from the non-medical background and if you are working in the bank, then you have to follow some protocol in that office. Similarly, in the evidence synthesis or in the systematic review, we have to follow a strict protocol. So it includes a research question, source for the relevant studies, assess the quality of those studies, and then combine the result. So this is the structure approach, which is unbiased and can be replicated by others. Another one is the variety of output that can be generated from the evidence synthesis. Evidence synthesis can produce various types of report. Suppose meta-analysis, we can see, we can do a meta-analysis and find that whether the treatment A is effective or treatment B is effective. Whether suppose we compare the two bank, suppose bank A has a good transaction or bank B has a good transaction. So this includes in the meta-analysis. Another one is enhancing the knowledge. So we can find the gaps in the studies and we can create a solid evidence basis. By doing this evidence synthesis, researchers can identify the gaps in the current literature, current knowledge. So these are the main key points of the evidence synthesis. So now let's discuss why choosing the right evidence synthesis methodology is crucial with interesting example. Uh, so uh, I request everyone to imagine you are safe of one of the big hotel in the Africa or Europe. Anyway, imagine you are safe and you are preparing a special dish for the big event. You have a several recipe from the different chef. You have got a recipe from the chef from the Hilton. You have got a recipe from the another big hotel from that country, and everyone has a different own technique. Everyone has a different technique. So if you randomly pick and mix part of this recipe, this might not turn out well, right? Instead, you need to carefully choose the best recipe that fits the occasion, ingredient available, and taste of your guests. Similarly, in research, choosing the right method to conduct evidence synthesis is very important because it will ensure that your evidence synthesis is accurate, reliable, and relevant. For instance, if you are evaluating the effectiveness of a new cancer treatment, a systematic review might be the best choice because it provides a comprehensive and unbiased summary of all the available studies. Like there might be millions of studies, hundreds of studies, but you have to select, you have to do a structured way to do that systematic review. On the other hand, a scoping review might be more appropriate if you are exploring a broad research question to identify the gaps. So by selecting the right method, we ensure our conclusion are well-founded and useful for the decision maker, clinician, and the researchers. Since I'm from the health background, I'll be giving the more example of the hospital, pharmacy, and the nursing. So you can correlate it with your field as well. So what can be the common method? Any guess? Any guesses from your side? You can turn on your audio and ask, or you can drop a message in the chat box. So what are the common methods that can be used in the evidence synthesis? So these are the common methods. One is the systematic review. Another one is the scoping review. Another is a rapid review, meta-analysis, narrative reviews, realistic reviews, mixed method reviews. So let's start the quiz again. So what do you know? So I have a question for everyone. So Nafisa, can you again start the poll?
Yes, it's
So
time for warm up. We know that it has been a long day, so let's warm up together. Kindly use the same link, menti.com, and the same code. I reshare it and answer the question.
So I want to know what you know about the systematic review. So what is the main goal of the systematic review? Here are the options. You can see in my screen. I got one question in the chat box. I don't know why scoping review and systematic review seems confused to me. So I will definitely answer that question as well.
We have 1 minute to answer, then I will share the results. Please kindly use the link. Don't type your answer in the chat.
Now, Fisher, people are saying that all the question is being displayed on the Menti. Can you change the question?
It's not the first question. I have seen results. Answers are coming.
Okay.
Maybe you need to refresh or reload the link. So
I think we have an issue in the Menti. So is it okay if I start from here?
yes, should I share?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, just a sec.
No,
Share the
Fisher,
result.
leave it. I think people are seeing the same old question. So I will share the answer
It's not the
here.
same question.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. It looks like, yeah, sorry. We have answers here. Yeah, about 77 persons who say.
No, they answered.
This is the
for
first one. Okay, I will just try to check what is the issue.
Okay. Anyways, let me go ahead since we have to stick with the time. Okay, I will share my screen. So most of the people, I was checking the answer in the chat box, and many people said to systematically collect, critically evaluate, and synthesize research evidence. So answer is the B. So most of the people have given a correct answer. So now we'll go to the each and every method. So I will start with a systematic review. So a systematic review, let's start with the definition. It is a rigorous and structured approach to synthesize research evidence. So here are some characteristics of systematic review. First one is the predefined protocol. Before you start a systematic review, you have to follow a structured plan. Without that structured plan, you can't start a systematic review. And second characteristic is the comprehensive literature sort. Like you have to sort the various databases. Not only one databases is enough. You have to sort Medline, Scopus, CNL, Central, Scopus, Embase. So you have to sort lots of databases. Another characteristic is the critical appraisal of studies. That means you have to assess the quality and the relevance of each study. Another one is the characteristic is the quantitative or qualitative synthesis. Once you predefine the protocol, you will do a literature sorts, and once you get a result, you have to assess the quality of each article. Suppose person A in the Nepal has done one study, and you have to check the quality of that article using the lots of methods like risk of bias tool, Adobe, Robin's eye tool. There are lots of methods to do the critical operation. Once you get the result, you have to combine the result using the stat or thematic analysis. So when to use systematic review? When you need a specific answer to any research question with high accuracy, then you have to use a systematic review. So it is ideal for producing a reliable and comprehensive evidence on the well-researched topic. So in next slide, I'm giving one example of the systematic review and meta-analysis that I have done in my PhD. Here, my research question was what is the involvement of the pharmacist in the cancer pain management? So here I defined the protocol. So I predefined the protocol and submitted in the Prospero. When you start, before starting a systematic review, you have to make a protocol and submit it to Prospero. Then you have to do the comprehensive literature search. You have to do a critical appraisal of that study. You have to do the quantitative synthesis and the qualitative synthesis of that article. Now I'll go into the scoping review. So you can see the definition. It is the preliminary assessment of the size and the scope of the available research literature. So it has a characteristic. It is designed to address the general question. So it also identifies and maps out the key theme and the type of evidence available. In the scoping review, you don't have to do the quality check of that article. So when to use? If you want to explore a new topic or the emerging topic, then you can use scoping review. Otherwise, when you have to clarify the key concept and the gaps in the research, then you can use scoping review. Another one is a rapid review. Suppose if you want to make you need a timely evidence for the decision making, then you can do a rapid review. So it has a characteristic of limited, if you have a limited resource and time, if you want to do a simple research, simple review, then you can use a rapid review. For an example, COVID. Another one is the narrative review. The most of the people are doing you can also say literature review, or you can say a narrative review. I will not go in detail for narrative review and other reviews, because especially I'll be focusing on the systematic review and the scoping review. Another one is the meta-analysis. Once you do a systematic review, you will have a quantitative data. Then if you analyze that quantitative data, then it will be the meta-analysis. So it is the part of the systematic review. you can't do a meta-analysis without doing a systematic review. First of all, you have to do a systematic review, then you have to find the result, then you can start a meta-analysis. Another one is the realistic review. So it is also one of the type of the review which focuses on the understanding the mechanism by which intervention works or doesn't work. Like if we are developing a new intervention for the HIV prevention, so we will only see the mechanism, whether that intervention works or doesn't work. So this is a realist review. Another one is the mixed method review. Suppose if you have a qualitative data and the quantitative data, and you have to integrate the findings from the both studies, then you can use the mixed method reviews. So again, we'll have a short quiz. So this will be the guess the methodology. So Nafisa, are you ready? So here is the question.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Sorry, Dr. Sonali. I'm just facing issue with menti.com, so I think you can share the slide here.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
Okay. So
We can type in the chat.
okay, you can drop answer in the chat box. So you can see the screen. Which methodology is best suited for the identifying the research gaps in the blood field? Is it okay if anyone from the audience can turn on the mic and answer and say why? So it will be more interactive and interesting. Anyone?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to unmute Evangeline.
Okay.
Okay, so in the chat, I wrote systematic review, but I have read the question again and I saw the broad field.
Okay. So
Then I want
okay.
to revise it to scoping review.
So can you explain the reason why you choose scoping review?
It could be an issue of semantics, but I feel like broad and comprehensive are not one and the same thing. So if you used comprehensive, I would stick with systematic review. But because this is just broadly,
Okay.
yes, it gives the impression of a scoping review.
Okay. Thank you, Evangeline. So
Okay.
anyone from the audience who want to answer?
Okay, Hamidu, I'm going to unmute you.
Okay, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, so the answer is scoping review. We have been made to understand that scoping reviews are used to identify research gaps, but systematic reviews are usually when you want to find a solution or evidence to solve a specific problem. But once you want to identify a research gap, you may want to do the scoping broader in nature. You could even look at gray literature as well. But in systematic reviews, the included studies might not include gray literature because you have to look at papers that have been published in peer-reviewed journals. unlike that of scoping review, where you can go beyond that just to come up with some research gaps.
Okay, thank you. Anyone? One more from audience, and now we
Justina,
can.
I guess. Justina, you can go ahead. You're unmuted.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll also go for the scoping review because we've been made to understand that it is a preliminary assessment of the size and scope of available research literature. And then it is mostly explored when we need to venture into an emerging topic or a new topic. So in this case, it's not for systematic review because for systematic review, it involves a rigorous and structured approach to synthesize a research evidence, and with the meta-analysis, it's a combination of the systematic review. So there's no way we'll be able to use the systematic review and the meta-analysis for this question. So that's why I root for scoping review. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you everyone for interaction. So the right answer is the scoping review. Since we are identifying the research gap in the broad field, which you don't have any idea, so you go for the scoping review since since the breadth of the field, it says how broad it will help to identify the research gap. So it is the scoping review. So many people were asking in the chat box, like, what is the systematic review and what is the scoping review? I will try to answer each and every question. So systematic review versus the scoping review. If you want to focus on a specific research question, then it will be the systematic review. If you want to do a broad exploration, like you want to map out the key concept, you want to explore the broad topic, then it will be the scoping review. So another one is the depth. Systematic review will give you an in-depth analysis of that evidence, while scoping review gives a broad overview and mapping of the available research. So if you want to do a systematic review, then it will take a longer time because due to the comprehensive search and appraisal. And if you want to do a scoping review, then generally it is completed in the shorter time frame. So I hope I am able to answer your question. Most of the participants were asking what is the difference between the systematic review and the scoping review. So now I will discuss about the systematic review versus the rapid review. Again, systematic review is the comprehensive and rapid review is the fast. Like we'll use a simple method and we'll start a rapid review. So resources. In systematic review, we need more resources. We need more time. We need more effort. We need more people. But in the rapid review, it is designed to be conducted with a few resources and a shorter period. So now I will discuss this 5 point. So which one to choose? So we need to consider these 5 factors: research question, scope and depth needed, time and resource available, stakeholder need, and the quality of available evidence. So on the basis of this, we can choose the right method. So first of all, I will go with the research question. So for in the research question, the core question you want to answer through your research. So it determines the focus of your study and the most suitable methodology. So here is one example. It is the quantitative question. So suppose this is a one research question. What is the effect of exercise on blood pressure? So in this we'll choose a method systematic review. And if there is a numerical data, we'll do a meta-analysis. Another example. How do patients experience the side effect of new medication? So here we can use a scoping review or the narrative review for the detailed insight. So this is the one factor to be considered to choose the right method. Another one is the scope and the depth needed. So this is the extent and the detail of the information required for the research. This influences whether the broad overview or the detailed analysis is appropriate. So here are the examples. If you have a limited time, if you have a limited resource, you can use a rapid review for the quick focus evidence. And if you have a lots of time, resources, you can use a systematic review for the comprehensive analysis. Here you can see the example. If you have a limited time, you can say, what are the immediate effects of a new health policy? Suppose if you are in the African country and your government implemented a new health policy and you want to see the immediate effect, then you will use a rapid review. Or otherwise, if you want to see the long-term impact of the diet change on the any health, you can conduct a systematic review. Another one is the time and resources available. So systematic review is it needs lots of time, lots of resources. So if you have a limited time, then you can use a rapid review. And if you want to have lots of time, you can do a systematic review. Another one is the stakeholder need. If your stakeholder wants to see what are the requirements of your stakeholder, if you are working in the hospital, so what is the requirement of your hospital? So that can be affected by the research. So research method can be aligned with the stakeholder interest or the need. Suppose if the policymaker wants to see what is the evidence of the effectiveness of the new public health intervention, then you can use a systematic review. Suppose just they want to see a practical insight, they want to see the broad overview, you can conduct a scoping review or the mixed method review. Another one is the quality of available evidence. So it is the strength and the reliability of the existing research on the topic. It determines whether the comprehensive synthesis or initial exploration is needed. So here are some examples. So here is the one research question. What is the current consensus on the asthma management strategy? Here we can do a systematic review or the meta-analysis to integrate existing studies. Similarly, if there is a scarce of the evidence, then you can do a scoping review or a rapid review. Suppose there is one new disease in China. So we have to see all the finding. So at that time we can do a scoping review. So again, we have a poll here. So anyone can, if you want to drop any message in the chat box, you can drop a message, or you can turn on the mic and answer. So here's one question. Anyone? Yeah, Michael, you can turn on the mic and speak.
Okay, thank you very much. I think all the answers there are possible answers, but if I should go for, I'll go for alternative A, research questions as a factor to consider most when choosing a methodology.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Anyone? Yes, Lily. Yeah, you can turn on the mic and say which answer and why.
Thank you very much.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I've unmuted myself. I said, although all the answers are possible reasons why one should choose the method, I think the research questions that the one intends to answer is very, very crucial before other factors are also considered. Thank you very much.
I need to participate from now.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I think there.
Okay. Yes. So I'll go for A, even though like we have seen all the options are possible, but the question is the most important. So the research question is the most important because it is the research question that will determine the others that may follow. So it's A for me.
Okay, then thank you, everyone. So yeah, the correct answer is the research question. But this is the most important things factor that you have to consider when choosing a method. So this is the most. But at the end, if you are doing any research, you have to consider all these points because all these points are equally important. Um, Apart from the research question, you also need to have a time, resources. You also need to see the need of your stakeholder, and you also need to check the quality of available incidents. So the most important one is the research question. However, you have to consider all the options. Thank you. I'll go to the next slide. So now we'll have some practice question. So anyone can turn on the camera and turn on the audio and can speak. So here's the one research question. What are the effects of the physical activity on the mental health in adults? So you can say the scope and depth, time and resources, the stakeholder need, and the quality of evidence. I just got a message from Nafisa. So I have got a limited time. So maybe I can share this with all in the email so that you can practice in your own time and you can try to answer this question. once you try to answer this question, you can implement this on your research. So I have got lots of questions for you. You guys can, I will share, Nafisa will share with you. So you can try this at your own time. So, sorry for this because I have got limited time, so I have got only 30 minutes. So I have to quickly rush into the next slide. So again, we'll do a quick knowledge check. Which methodology is typically faster and used when timely evidence is needed? So anyone, only one person. Can anyone answer with a vision? Yeah, yes, Michael. You can turn on your audio and speak.
Okay, so I'm going for alternative C, rapid review, because from the presentation, it was clear that when you need a timely evidence faster and then with limited resources, a rapid review can be conducted to provide the evidence you require. So I'll go for alternative C.
Okay, let's see the answer now. Yeah, you are correct. Yeah, if we need a timely evidence, and then you have to use a rapid review. Suppose at that time in the COVID time, there was we needed lots of evidence, but we needed timely evidence. So most of the people use the rapid review. So this can be used in such kind of emergency. So now I'm coming to the end of my slide. I'll need only 5 minutes now. Then we can jump into the question and answer. So selecting the appropriate method is linked with the research question, scope, available resources, stakeholder needs, and the quality of the existing evidence. Each method has a different purpose. Each method suits in the different research context. Um, each method will answer the different research objectives. So I'll just conclude. So there is always an importance of the matching method to the research need. We need to find out the differences and appropriate use of the systematic scoping and rapid reviews. So selecting the right methodology enhances the quality and the impact of the research findings. So now final question. So anyone? A researcher wants to understand the impact of the new drug on the patient quality of life. Which method should they use? Anyone? Okay, Solomon, you can turn on the mic and yes, Solomon, you can answer.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
I think it should be systematic. Because you want to be sure that whatever drug that you are giving to your client is correct. So the systematic review will give you the correct evidence for you to be able to rely on that. But I have a question, whether one can have more than two
Can we do question answer
questions
after this? Can we do question answer after this?
for
Okay.
systematic review?
I didn't get you. Anyone? Yes, Justina, can you answer?
Okay. Please, thank you very much. So, please, am I audible?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So, if a researcher wants to understand the impact of a new drug on a patient, I think that the best review we can consider is the scoping review because it's an assessment of the size and the scope of the research that we want to do. And then it is also used to explore a new or emerging topic. So since this is a new drug we want to try on the patients, then we can go in for the scoping review. Thank you.
Okay. Now again, one more question because I'm not getting the exact answer that I wanted to hear.
Okay.
Yes, Eric, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay, Michael, yeah.
okay. So if a new drug um has been introduced and patients are, let's say, reacting or as to how patients are receiving it. Looking at even the introduction of a new drug, I think the time will not even allow for systematic review, and I will want to look at scoping review in the exigencies of time to be able to look at how the new drug is doing with its patients. That's what I would select, scoping review.
Okay, now thank you. Yeah. Eric, do you want to go?
There are some answers in the chat.
Okay. Okay, Eric, you can also answer. I'm also looking in the chat box. Anyone? Let me see. You want to go?
Hello,
Yeah,
please can you hear me?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's rapid review because it's a new drug and we want to know how how its impact the impact is having on the quality of life. Since it's a new drug and we might need to change it if the result is not giving us the kind of intended result we want, within some shortest time, we should be able to get those feedback and if there is a need for amendment of the drug, we can do that. So I think it's rapid review.
Okay. So the right answer is the systematic review because here in the scenario, I haven't mentioned that we are in the emergency. I haven't created that scenario. If we do a rapid review, then the results will not be reliable. So the suggested method is the systematic review. If there is a new drug, uh, it has gone through a lots of clinical trial. After lots of clinical trial, then only that drug is marketed they come into the market. So we are not in the hurry to assess we don't need a rapid result because it has already cleared lots of trials. So here is the most reliable method is the systematic review. So thank you so much. You can share your any thoughts. You can ask the question in the chat box. I'll try to answer. Uh, yeah, Nafisa, can you help me with this questions? Okay.
Yes, sure. Let me just check first. Okay, maybe to save time, we'll just start from the last question. Okay, for systematic review, do you need to formulate one research question or several of them?
Okay. For conducting a systematic review, first of all, you need to formulate one main research question. After that, you can also create several questions, but it's better you formulate only one research question. And in the specific objective, you can formulate several research questions.
Okay, let me go. Maybe we can take from those who raise their hands. While in the meantime, I will check the chat. I will unmute. I'm not sure who raised their hands first, but I will start with Derek. You can unmute yourself and you can ask your question. Derek, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself? And
Yeah. Right, thank you. I was not able to unmute, but now it's okay. Please, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I wanted to know which of the methodologies would be appropriate for durational models. Like, for example, if you're looking at maybe duration of unemployment, which of them would be much appropriate to use?
I can't hear you. Can you type your question or can you repeat the question?
My question is that which of the methodologies here will be much better or appropriate for durational models? For example,
what models?
Duration. For example, if you want to look at the duration of unemployment.
Okay. So you want to see the unemployment rate among the women, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah, for that you can do a systematic review because it will be the more comprehensive. You can go through the lot of databases. So if you have a numerical data, you can also go for the meta-analysis. Since it all depends upon your time, resources, research question. So it will depend on that factors also. So I will definitely say systematic review is the best choice for your research question. Yes, Andrew. Any question?
Yes, there is a question in the chat from Joyce. She said, what is the difference between short communication and rapid review?
Okay, short communication is like mini research. So you have to collect the data from the field, and you have to collect the data, and this is the like a small article only. It is only a short piece of article. So so it is not a strong evidence. So and what is another short communication versus the scoping review, right?
Rapid review.
Okay, and rapid review is like if you want to do a review in the quick time, then you have to do a rapid review. And short communication is not related to any review article. So both are very different.
Okay, there is other question in the chat as well. I think Evangeline, I hope I pronounce your name well. So he said that can such a question with more than one information area be answered by scoping review? The question is understanding adolescent health outcomes in Kenya, associated upstream factors and gaps in literature.
Yeah, so can you copy paste the question in the message box? I couldn't understand.
Okay, sure.
Can such question? In scoping review, it only answers a broad question. So it doesn't go to the specific one. And looking at your question, I think you should try with the systematic review, not go with the scoping review. I suggest you to do a systematic review on this topic because you are asking the specific question, like you are asking the association of upstream factors, you are asking the gaps, so it's better you do a systematic review.
Thank you. Let's give the stage to the people who raised their hand. Emmanuel.
Okay, so my question is, I want to find out, can a topic, for instance, if you're working on a topic, can you have one topic where you do maybe scoping review and systematic review? That's my first question. My second question is there a difference between maybe mixed method and maybe somebody doing a systematic review and meta-analysis? Or as the person picks systematic review and meta-analysis, is a comparative or is just like maybe a mixed method something?
Oh, okay. Systematic review and meta. First of all, I will answer your second question. Systematic review, meta-analysis, versus mixed method. It is a different thing. In mixed method, when you extract the data from the qualitative study and the quantitative study, that is the mixed method. But a systematic review and the meta-analysis is the different thing. And what is your first question?
I think we lost Emmanuel.
Okay. So what is the time left, Nafisa?
We have 15 minutes.
Okay. In the last 5 minutes, I would like to hear the feedback from you all.
Sure. So let me ask the question in the chat. I also typed it in the message. In accounting business, there are many published systematic reviews or bibliometric reviews, but it seems that they are more similar in purpose of scoping reviews. The purpose is purely to describe what are different streams of research on a topic and what is left uncover the gap. I think it's a comment, not a question.
Okay. I just saw one question. If
Okay.
you do a systematic review and you get a numerical data, is it must to continue to do a meta-analysis? It is not compulsory to do a meta-analysis. If your systematic review data are homogeneous, then you can continue with the meta-analysis. However, in meta-analysis, you need a export. You need an export from the stat. You need an export who can work on the meta-analysis, who have knowledge regarding the stat. So your data must be the homogeneous to continue with the meta-analysis. So it is not compulsory. If you are doing a systematic review and you have lots of numerical data, so it's up to your choice whether you do a meta-analysis or not.
Okay, next opportunity for Soglo.
I have said, sorry, I couldn't go in detail for the meta-analysis. If I have a time, next time, I can go do more on the meta-analysis. So for now, I've just shared one slide here. So what is the difference
Okay.
between the SLR, systematic review, and the bibliometric analysis? I haven't that much knowledge in the bibliometric analysis, so I can't answer that. Sorry for that. Can a systematic review be used for a study about the various proposed mode of action of a drug? Yes, you can use a systematic review for that, but you can also use a realistic review. So whether that mechanism is working or not working, you can use that. You can use a systematic review also. Another question, what number of articles is sufficient? Minimum you need 2 or 3 articles, but maximum you can go anywhere. There is no limitation. Can I do 2 reviews on a topic like a scoping review, then systematic review? Yeah, you can definitely do both scoping and systematic review. But my question is, if you are going for a systematic review, then why you have to do a scoping review? Just go for the systematic review.
Maybe Joseph can ask his question. Sorry, guys, I'm picking the people according to what I can see in the screen. If I miss
I can
something.
see lots of questions, so
Yeah.
an officer can hear.
Joseph, I ask you to unmute. Can you go ahead?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Prof, for that insightful presentation. First, I want to know about the new drug, the scenario you gave, and you say you could use systematic review. Kind of asking, with that, will you get enough literature to support or to do this review? The other one is that, do you need a ethical clearance to carry out these forms of reviews?
Yeah, you don't need an ethical clearance to conduct a systematic review. However, you need to you need to make a protocol before starting a systematic review. And you have to register that in the Prospero database. Once your protocol gets approved from the Prospero or any database, then you can continue with the systematic review. You don't need an ethical clearance.
Okay, thank you. The first question, I wasn't quite clear with the use of systematic review to deal with a situation where you have a new drug and you want to carry out a study. I'm just thinking that you wouldn't get enough literature.
Okay.
So I don't see how you
okay.
can.
Suppose if you want to conduct a systematic review, and if you have only 2 studies, it is enough for the systematic review. If you don't find any studies, then you can do a scoping review because it will answer the broad question.
Okay.
So in that case, you can go with the scoping review.
Thank you very much.
Okay, maybe we can take one last question, and then I will share the question box in the chat so you can type your question and send it to us. Later, we will share it with you, the answer in your email.
Okay, sure.
For now, I will pick Dorothy. I ask you to unmute yourself and you can start.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening. My time zone is night already. Thank you very much, Prof, for the session. My question is, if we flip having like minimum of 2 articles for a systematic review, and then you have maybe like up to like 200 papers, or is that acceptable, or one has to go back to refine the research question? Please, could you just help to explain that, as in minimum number of articles could be 2, but maximum, can it get up to like 200? Because I have seen some people suggest that when it is too much, then it means the research question is too broad or something. I don't know if you could guide on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In systematic review, you always have to make your question very specific. You don't make a question of broad. You can just say what is the impact. You can say what is the status of the nursing scenario in the whole world. That is too broad question. So you just say the specific. Your research question should answer a specific research question. Once you make a research question, then you have to make your source strategy. And source strategy, you have to define your PICO. I hope everyone have heard about the PICO. P means population, I means intervention, C means comparison, O means outcome. So if you want to do suppose I'll give one example. I want to see what is the impact of pharmacists in cancer care. So here my population is the cancer patient, my intervention is the pharmacist, my comparison. Here I don't have any comparison, so I will leave it empty. So my outcome will be the quality of life, something like that. So now based on that, I have to develop a source strategy. So you have to consult with the expertise. You have to consult with the librarian to develop that source strategy. So that will answer your specific research question. Oh, I hope I have answered your question. If not, you can email me and I'm happy to answer. So any feedback regarding the presentation? So you
Shared,
can,
okay, continue, sorry. I shared the post survey in the
Okay.
chat. Kindly, we would love to hear from you so we can enhance our services. Could you please just take a time and fill that? Also, if you have more questions, you can just fill it in the question box. You can also follow us in our social media platforms. Also, I shared the LinkedIn profile of Dr. Sunil. He's open to connect with everyone. So you can also send him connection if that's possible. Maybe I can take one more question for people who raise their hands. Andrews?
Hello. Hello. My question is, literature review depends on literature that has been published. And I think the basic goal of conducting literature review is to establish the state of knowledge on the field. So are we using review questions or we are using research questions? Because I'm getting lost.
Okay, I will again try to answer. So, first of all, regarding you have to make your research question very specific. Without finalizing your research question, you can't jump into the source strategy. You can't go for the sourcing the article. So I'll give a simple tip. If you want to do a systematic review, then you make a research question. Then once you define your research question, it should be specific. Then you'll make a PICO, population intervention comparison outcome, and you can also add study design or time frame. That is your choice. Always make a research question very specific because this is the base of the systematic review or any type of review.
Okay, thank you. That was the last question for this session, and we came up to the end of our session. It was really, really insightful session, and we really appreciate your time, Dr. Sunil, for this grateful presentation. Hopefully, we will be in contact for more in the future. I will give you to say last words, and after that, the stage will be for Fortin to wrap up for this session. And again, last announcement, could you please, guys, if someone who didn't write it attendance, we will send the link of the attendance. Also, again, if you have questions, those people who raise their hands, you can just fill the form, the question box. And you can follow us. You can join the WhatsApp group and also follow Dr. Sunil in his LinkedIn profile. Thank you.
Thank you, Nafisa, for moderating. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you, everyone.
Fortin, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Nafisa,
Yeah,
I'm
you
here.
can go ahead.
You want me to go ahead?
Yes.
No?
Yes, Fortin, can you hear me? You can go ahead. The stage is yours.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. So we come to the end of our session for today. First, we really want to apologize for the technical challenges we're having with the Zoom. As we speak, our team is working to secure a larger Zoom platform that can accommodate everybody. And especially because from tomorrow we'll be doing lots of hands-on activities. So it's important that everybody is joining on Zoom. So we'll try as much as possible to see that that is sorted out before the first session for tomorrow. And then also we will be sharing the resources with you, the recordings, and of course the slides. So we'll try and see if we can send that before the end of today. So really apologize for any issue at all. And then for people that didn't receive their confirmation on time and all this kind of delays, we are also really sorry. We have been seeing your messages on email, on WhatsApp, and even your calls. So really sorry about that. We can guarantee you that many of these things we put together before tomorrow's session. So please be sure to fill the attendance form. I don't know about the YouTube, but I know that it has been shared separately. Ben, please can you share it on the YouTube as well?
Okay, I will do that.
Okay. Okay, please, thank you very much for joining. If there are any questions, especially how we can improve the coming workshop or coming webinars or coming sessions, we really appreciate it. You can send it to our email or share to us on WhatsApp. Thank you very much for joining.
So before you close, I have to add that thank everyone for joining. And today we moved from Kenya to Nepal. So the presentation has been very insightful and I hope continue. But I want to also emphasize that on Wednesdays and Thursdays, the workshop is hybrid, both in person. Now, for the in-person, it's only the registered confirmed participants. Already, we've sent all those ones out. People that registered confirmed they are aware. So we don't want the situation whereby someone has not previously registered is in present. So for the in-person, you are being catered for. Everything is being catered for. You just have to come, then enjoy the moment and have fun. Thank you once again for joining today.
All right, thank you very much. And Nafisa, over to you, please. You can close the session.
Thank you very much, all, and that's for today. Let's meet tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.